Sudhir bhai, Nandaram mein Nandaram setup एक स्कूल है क्या उसको उधर पानी का बॉटल
I have one humble suggestion to all the bodies, not only those who are here, but everyone else, to avoid chanting Ramo, because Prabhupada didn't like it. There's a story behind it that Mr. John Swami, Prabhupada said he has voice like an angel. He appreciated very much his chanting. But in front of Prabhupada, he changed the chanting from Hare Rama to Hare Rama. Prabhupada stopped the king and he asked him, who is this Rama? You're spoiling the movement. The pronunciation is Rama. So it's important. Bengalis in their language, they change A to O. But if you are not Bengali, you have no excuse. Prabhupada was Bengali, he never chanted Rama. If you hear Prabhupada Kirtan, he never chanted Rama, always Ram. So it's important, no? Because, Sanskrit word you can change. Bengali, you may change A to O. But Sanskrit, you are not supposed to change. So it's important. It became fashionable among Kirtaniya, to chant Rama. Somebody is speaking there? You are I'm speaking? I can't speak, but should not be here. Put in silence.
or giving you silence.
Silence. Do you have a cushion I can put here in the back? So I can push myself forward. Yeah, anyone. That one there. Yeah, that one there. That will do. Thank you. That's one there. That's very good. All right. So I like this melody you were chanting. I'm going to chant it. Very nice melody. You try on this. We are not professional. Get 10 years. It's okay. All right. So, thank you for coming. It's Saturday. Everybody likes to stay at home and take rest, you know. Especially we have a late program last night. So it's natural, you know. Thank you for showing up. So, I'm gonna read today from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's some verse suggestion that we check. 5 to 8, 5 to 8. 5?
5:12, 8 to 5:12, 11. That's what Anand Prabhu shared.
5, 12,
8 to 11.
Canto chapter 12.
Verse 8,
Okay.
9, 10, 11.
Okay. Now, okay. Let me check. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. 5:12. 8 to 11. Okay. We are supposed to read about the story of Maharaj Bharat. But this world is another story. Is Rahul gonna converse with Jada Bharat?
I think the topic is 3 lives of King.
Yeah, the 3 lives of Bharat Maharaj. But this is jumping up all the way to Jada Bharata. We should start with Bharata first and end up with Jada Bharata. So I'm gonna go back to Maharaj Bharata first. Okay, we can change that, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna read from 5th Canto, chapter 7, text 12 forward. So, just trying, I got a new phone, but I can't find an app. Always you get something new, you take some time to get accustomed to it. Anyway, because I wanted to record MP3, we can do it. Because one disciple will upload to Spotify, so he asked me please, because otherwise he has to download the lecture and subtract the MP3 is more trouble. So he asked me this favor. You can do it? Very good. All right, so I'm gonna read Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Nasta Prayesha Vadreshu.
Nasta Prayeshu Abadveshu.
Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
So we are reading from 5th Canto, chapter 7, text 12. because we are going to read how it started the story of Bharat Maharaj. First, he went to the forest, see what happens from there. So the Sanskrit is a very long verse. I'm not going to read it, it's too long. I'm going to just read the translation. That most exalted devotee, Maharaj Bharat, in this way engaged constantly in the devotional service of the Lord. Naturally, his love for Vasudeva, Krishna, increased more and more and melted his heart. Consequently, he gradually lost all attachment for regulative duties. The hairs of his body stood on end, and all the ecstatic bodily symptoms were manifest. Tears flowed from his eyes, so much so that he could not see anything. Thus, he constantly meditated on the reddish lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, his heart, which was like a lake, was filled with the water of ecstatic love. When his mind was immersed in that lake, he even forgot the relative service to the Lord. Purport. Srila Prabhupada. When one is actually advanced in ecstatic love for Krishna, 8 transcendental blissful symptoms are manifest in the body. Those are the symptoms of perfection arising from loving service to the Supreme Personality of God. Since Maharaj Bharat was constantly engaged in devotional service, all the symptoms of ecstatic love were manifest in his body. So actually, Bharat Maharaj achieved the stage of bhava just prior to prema. No? So that's why he was experiencing all these ecstatic symptoms in his love and service of the Lord. I mean, he was a king. He had so much opulence, beautiful wife, beautiful children, a lot of riches, a lot of servants. He had everything. And because of his love and attachment to Krishna was so strong, he gave up everything. In the Nectar of Devotion, it is described that he was going to the door of his enemies to beg food. So they would chastise him, kick him away, and will feel happy. Nobody wants to be rejected or chastised or looking downward. But he was so attached to Krishna, he didn't mind all this. He didn't mind. He didn't care. Honor, dishonor was the same for him. That's a symptom of very advanced devotee. So feeling that way, he went to the forest. Better I don't disturb anyone, let me be alone in the forest. I mean, we hear the Bhagavata, many sages go live in the forest with wild animals. Why they do that? Because they think wild animals are easily tamed than humans, even some humans, Sometimes even human beings give you so much trouble, So, and the great sage, they use deer skin or tiger skin. The reason is not whimsical, because that type of skin, uh, cobras and snake, they will not approach. By smelling the skin, they will not approach. So if the sage is in deep meditation, no cobra will come, or poisonous snake will come by, will not approach. That's a scientific reason for all this thing. And also they have full faith in the protection of the Lord. The Lord is sitting in the heart of the living entity. Even if they are, may you say, okay, may a lion attack them or a tiger, whatever. But no. Since the Lord is in the heart of every living entity, He will not allow His surrendered devotee to be harmed in that way. This is a nice, amazing story. It's history. The story doesn't mean it's made up. It's history. Raghunath Das Goswami, he will sit at the shore of Shyamakunda, sometime Radhakunda, to meditate on Radha Krishna Lila. So one day he was sitting at the shore of Shyamakunda, meditating on the pastimes of the Lord. and he went into deep meditation. And next to him was a tiger drinking water from the kunda, but he was unaware of it. Sanatana Goswami was passing through, and he saw the thing. And he saw that behind the tiger, Krishna was standing with the Sudarshan Chakra. Just in case the tiger would attack his devotee, he would be ready to kill it. So Sanatana Goswami preached to Raghunath Goswami, it is not proper that you put Krishna on your service to protect him. Better make a hut, bhajan kutir. You can meditate there peacefully. Do it. Yes, I will do it. But he forgot. He was so absorbed in Lila Smaran, he would forget. So next time he was sitting at the shore of Radhakund, also became absorbed in the Lila of the Lord. He forgot himself. Noontime came, the sun was very hot, like now here in Phoenix, the sun very hot. India also hot. In summertime, sun very hot. So Sanatana Goswami passing through again, and he saw Radharani herself covering the head of Raghunath Das Goswami with the veil of her sari. He was covering his head so it will not get burned. And she was sweating. So after that, Sanatana Goswami chastised very much Raghunath Das. Look, we are eternal servant of Radha and Krishna. How can you tolerate that or mistress or eternal loving worshipful deity come and serve us? Not acceptable. You must do your bhajan kutir now. Yes, definitely I will. So he made with palm leaves, they made a little hut, some people helped him. So like that, no? So in the same way, Bharat Maharaj, he became renounced of everything because he has such love for Krishna. When somebody has such great love for Krishna, he doesn't care about material enjoyment, material comfort, opulence. It's the same for him. Living under a tree or living in a big palace, it's the same. Doesn't mind. So Jaya Bharat was in total, complete ecstasy all the time. And he will forget even the prescribed duties of sadhana. He was more in the mood of spontaneous attraction, service of the Lord. So let's read more. Text 13. Maharaj Bharat appeared very beautiful. He had a wealth of curly hair on his head, which was wet from bathing 3 times daily. He dressed in a deer skin. He worshipped Lord Narayan, whose body was composed of golden effulgence, and who resided within the sun. Maharaj Bharat worshipped Lord Narayan by chanting the hymns given in the Rig Veda, and he recited the following verse as the sun rose. Purpose. The predominating deity within the sun is Hiranmaya, Lord Narayan. He is worshipped by the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. He is also worshipped by other hymns mentioned in the Rig Veda, for instance, Dhyaya Sada Savitri Mandala Madhyavarti. Within the sun, Lord Narayan is situated and he has a golden view. Interesting, no? That means that's the way we say Surya Narayan. I chanted a mantra also when I see sun in the morning from Brahma Samhita. I say, Yachakshure Sasavita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Murti Rashesha Teja Yasyagya Brahmati Samrita Kala Chakro Govinda Mani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That I offer my obeisance to the sun, God, who is giving so much power, energy to all the universe, and who's getting all his power from Govinda, like that. So The Lord is residing in the sun planet also, Surya Narayana, which is plenty. And, so he will worship the Lord by reciting of this mantra from Rig Veda and other Shastra also. This Gayatri mantra is very popular, I hear even they made songs with bhajan chanting, but that's not authorized. The Gayatri mantra is to be chanted silently, not to chant it loudly with music. This is mental speculation. Only the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna can be chanted softly or loudly, no restriction. But Gayatri Mantra is not supposed to be chanted loudly for everybody to hear. But they made it fashionable, fashion, changing things. Isn't it? Have you heard? Oh, Guru Baba they chant like that. But the mantra should be received in the cyclic succession through Guru Parampara, otherwise has no potency. Guru should give the mantra. We read the books, we can chant the mantra, but it's not like regular chanting, daily chanting 3 times a day. It's only when you receive from Guru, then you can chant like all the Gayatris. This is Brahma Gayatri, but there are other Gayatri, Guru Gayatri, Goranga Gayatri, Kama Bija, Gopal Mantra Gayatri, like that. So this helps us to meditate on the Lord, beautiful form, beautiful pastimes. So Bharat Maharaj was absorbed like that in this situation. But let's now go to the story how we met the deer. Here it comes. Next chapter 8. And let's read from text. The story start. Verse 1 from chapter 8. Shishukubach ekadatu mahanagyam vitabhisheka nayami kavashyako brahmaksharam abhivinanu muhurtatrayam udakanta upavivesha. Shishukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, one day after finishing his morning duties, evacuating, urinating, and bathing, Maharaj Bharat sat down on the bank of the river Gandaki for a few minutes and began chanting his mantra beginning with Omkar. This Gandaki river, you know where it is situated? In Nepal, in the Himalayas in Nepal. So he was there. O king, while Bharat Maharaj was sitting on the bank of that river, a dog, being very thirsty, came there to drink. While the dog was drinking with great satisfaction, a lion, which was very close, roared very loudly. This was frightful to every living entity, and it was heard by the dog. It's a safe dog? Okay. By nature, the dog was always afraid of being killed by others, and it was always looking about suspiciously. When it heard the lion's tumultuous roar, it became very agitated. Looking here and there with disturbed eyes, the dog, although it had not fully satisfied itself by drinking water, suddenly leaped across the river. The dog was pregnant, and even it jumped out of fear. The baby deer fell from its womb into the flowing waters of the river. Purport. There is every chance of a woman having miscarriage if she experiences some ecstatic emotion or is frightened. Pregnant women should therefore be spared all these external influences. So be careful not to be too much ecstatic when pregnant. Being separated from its flock and distressed by its miscarriage, the black dog, having crossed the river, was very much distressed Indeed, it fell down in a cave and died immediately. The great King Bharat, while sitting on the bank of the river, saw the small deer, bereft of its mother, floating down the river. Seeing this, he felt great compassion. Like a sincere friend, he lifted the infant deer from the waves, and knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashram. Purport. The laws of nature work in subtle ways, unknown to us. Maharaj Bharat was a great king, very advanced in devotional service. He had almost reached the point of loving service to the Supreme Lord, but even from that platform, he could fall down into the material platform. In Bhagavata, we are therefore warned. Yam hi na vyatayantit ete, purusham purushar samadukka sukam dhiram somritatwaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Spiritual salvation and liberation from material bondage must be worked out with great caution. Otherwise, a little discrepancy will cause one to fall down again into material existence. By studying the activities of Maharaj Bharata, we can learn that the art of becoming completely free from all material attachment. As it will be revealed in later verses, Bharat Maharaj had to accept the body of a deer due to being overly compassionate for this infant deer. We should be compassionate by raising one from the material platform to the spiritual platform. Otherwise, at any moment, our spiritual advancement may be spoiled and we may fall down into the material platform. Maharaj Bharata's compassion for the deer was the beginning of his fall down into the material world. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. So, this is the difference between material compassion and spiritual compassion. You know? Nothing wrong to be kind to all living entities, you know. From the material point of view, what Bharat Maharaj did was praiseworthy, that he was compassionate, saved the life of a small deer that was drowned in the river. So one may say, what's wrong with doing that? You know, any person will say that. But we are talking from the spiritual point of view. It's a different spiritual point of views sometimes contradict material point of view. People can't understand the spiritual point of view in general. They can't. It's difficult for them. So it is said here, his compassion was material for, I mean, it's a drowning, save a life, a small animal. But that material compassion gave trouble to his spiritual life, gave a lot of difficulties like that. But he was very advanced devotee, great devotee of the Lord. So although he left society, family, everything, he went to live in the forest to be fully absorbed in the service of Krishna. Maya is so strong that even there makes some allurement, some inattention, diversion. I mean, Maharaj Bharat was distracted by the deer, and now there's so many distractions. So many distractions. TV, movies, games. Every moment, there's so many distractions. You know? I remember the first time I went to visit the temple in Las Vegas. One devotee picked me up at the airport. It was evening time. We went to have to pass through Las Vegas to go to the temple. And it was very luminous, you know, sign, welcome to Las Vegas. Neon, you know, lights. And they have this big neon had 4 luminous pictures. One picture was a glass and a bottle of wine. The other picture was a roulette casino. And the other picture was a steak, meat, the plate, another half-naked girl dancing. So I thought, well, look, but we don't do everything. All the things we don't do are for them is paradise. You can do for those things, but they know it is not good. That's why they give the nickname of Las Vegas Sin City. But they can't help it because they don't know better. We know better. Prabhupada's mercy, Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we know. There is higher pleasure in life. Spiritual pleasure is real. It's not imagination. It's not made up. You can actually feel it in your life if you chant sincerely the holy name, read about Krishna, do some service. You can give, sometimes Krishna may give us, even if we are not advanced devotee, he may give us a drop of happiness, spiritual happiness, so we can become attached and get some hope. I can experience more, like that. So anyway, so unfortunately, Maharaj Bharat became, because the deer was motherless. If he had a mother, he would say, but the mother, bye-bye, take care of your son. But it was motherless, mother died. I mean, she was drinking water in the river and she heard the lion roaring. So she became so frightened, she jumped in the water. And the baby was born in the water. And she went to a cave and died there. So anyway, so it's a very, very dramatic scene, And Maharaj, being great devotee, was compassionate, naturally, for all living entities. But this was not advisable for him. Was not good for him to be so attached to a deer. So because of that, he started slacking his practice. He will try to meditate and chant the mantra. The deer, small deer, start growing up, come to want to play. So he will start playing. He forget his practice, And in that way, gradually, he stopped completely doing any bhakti yoga. Only playing with the deer, finding fruit to give him to eat, like that. And the story goes on. Let's see what happens. Gradually, Maharaj, that's text 8. Gradually, Maharaj Bharat became very affectionate toward the deer. He began to raise it and maintain it by giving it grass. He was always careful to protect it from the attacks of tigers and other animals. When it itched, he petted it, and in this way, he always tried to keep it in a comfortable condition. He sometimes kissed it out of love. Being attached to raising the deer, Maharaj Bharat forgot the rules and regulations for the advancement of spiritual life, and he gradually forgot to worship the Supreme Personality of God. After a few days, he forgot everything about his spiritual advancement. Just see how powerful Maya is. Even in the forest alone, become attached to love a deer. What to speak of people nowadays, they love their dog so much. We go walk every day morning. So many people walking their dog and hug the dog, kiss the dog. I mean, it's a great, the danger there. They don't know. If they die thinking of their dog, they become dog next life. And also, I remember walking in a park in New York. They have a sign. If you don't collect the stool of your dog, you have to pay him fine $200. So everybody had a sweeping and a plastic bag to collect the stool from the dog. Instead of serving God, they have to serve dog. So unfortunate, so misled. The present society is very misled. So imagine the danger of that. Prabhupada said, It's better to become attached better to the wife or to the husband. At least next time they still will be born as a human being, you know. The wife to attach husband, she will be man. He's be attached to the woman, he become woman. They married again. They meet again. And the story goes on and on. You know? But doesn't matter what body you have, men or women. You're a jiva, you are a living entity. You're a human being. And spiritual life is meant for all human beings. Doesn't matter man or woman, a child or all, you know. Everybody is supposed to, human beings, to have a spiritual life. No? So there was one story of a princess. She has a guru, and she came to visit in the palace, and he was traveling with his Shalagram Shila. So he was worshipping, bathing Shalagram Shila, and the princess was giving paraphernalia to help the king, the guru. And she became so attached to worship the Lord herself. She begged the guru, please, can you give me your Shalagram Shila? I want to worship myself. So Guru noticed that she was very sincere and devoted, and really very sincerely wanted to worship. So he gave, and he instructed how to do it, and how the way it should be done, you know. So the king she became very happy, you know. So she was worshiping her Shalagram Shila every day with so much love and affection and everything. She had no worldly desire. She was not interested in material enjoyment at all. But by some arrangement, she has to get married to some other place, you know. Like for, you know, sometimes marriage happened for political reason, you know, other reason, not, you know, anyway. But her husband was a godless man. And his family also, they were not interested in God or devotional service. So she was very much afflicted by that. You know? Her parents made the arrangement, so she has to accept. You know? Anyway, when she was going to the kingdom of her husband, she was very sad, very afflicted at heart that her husband has no interest in Krishna, in the Lord. And he came to talk to her, asking her something, how are you feeling? And she said she's very much in distress. And he asked why? She said, because you have no interest in serving the Lord. You know? Oh, you are so much attached to the stone you have. She has the bag. Because of that, you don't feel happy. That she, by force, she took away the bag and threw it in the river. She became more distressed. So when they reached their parents' home, she would not eat, not talk to anyone. And day by day, she was almost gonna die. So the family was very much worried that we brought her here. So they came to beg all of them to, please tell us what to do so you can eat, you survive, you know, we don't want you to die. Our daughter-in-law, she said, only if you give me back my Lord, you will throw in the river, then I will eat again. So all of them went along with her to the river where the prince threw the Shalagram Shila. And there she was praying devotion to the Lord. And to their surprise, came out of the river by itself and to her palms. Like, all the family members, when they saw that, their heart changed completely. They saw it is real, you know. By this sincere love and affection for the Lord reciprocated and came by his own will to her, you know. So when they saw that, their heart changed and all of them became devotees of the Lord. So she didn't want to live in a family who are not devoted. So Krishna made the arrangement that they will change their heart. You know? By seeing her love, her devotion, her surrender, you know. She was willing to die, not having the Lord to worship, to love. So all this amazing, you know, stories we hear are very important because help us to have, you know, more appreciation for association of devotees. and to appreciate more our spiritual life, to protect it, from so many unwanted things that may distract us from our purpose of life. Human life purpose is to get Krishna prem, love for Krishna. Prema pumarto mahan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. So it's very, very important that we be more careful in our daily spiritual activities. Because modern society is based on consumerism. Everything is consume, consume, consume. Get money and spend, spend, spend. Many unnecessary things. People accumulate more things than actually they need. They buy something out of fashion, they throw it in one corner. Don't use it anymore. Like that. So we have to, our mottos is simple thing, simple life, simple living, I think. Okay? But modern life is complicated life and dual thinking. No other way around. So if we see Krishna in everything and try to engage everything, connection with Krishna, in relation to Krishna, then Krishna will give us the intelligence how to dovetail everything in service, or home, or family, or job, money, everything. We can dovetail everything in the service of the Lord. Bhakti Thakur say, Grihe tako, Bane tako, Sadahali, Bone tako. Doesn't matter if you live in the forest or you live at home, just chant the holy name. Always chant. Sadahari, always chant the holy name. That would save us from all bad things, avoid bad association, keep good association, chant the holy name, follow the four-letter principles, read the books, take only prasad offered to the Lord. One devotee once told me in Los Angeles that the kid, he went to the supermarket, a devotee kid, and he was folded high, and the devotee asked him, "What are you doing?" "I'm offering all the vegetarian things in the market so I don't have to offer every time." At least he wanted to offer the food, like that. But I need to say, there was a real story, it happened in France many years ago. One little boy, devotee, he's having an ability to distinguish regular food from prasad, Mahaprasad. So they would bring like 10 plates. They would ask him, which plate is Mahaprasad? And he would look at the plate. This is Mahaprasad. And he was right. He said he would see an effulgence, bright effulgence coming from the food. It was offered to the Lord. So it was not ordinary food. So I need to say, this process is real. It's real. It's not fantasy. It's not made up. It's not some religious fanaticism. It's not like that. It's real. And you can feel it. You can experience it. When you practice, when you're chanting. This morning went to the park, walk in the park. And I was remembering the shloka we read the previous night about Paramatma. And suddenly I felt Paramatma everywhere. And I felt Paramatma, my heart, or Paramatma are one and the same. Suddenly I saw like the oneness of everything, in relation to Paramatma. He's in every atom of it. There is nothing but Krishna in the world. Of course, the higher level is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, feeling separation from Krishna, I see the world vacant. He cried, like that. But actually, separation comes after union. When you are first union, then comes separation, like the gopis from Krishna. So what we can experience actually is another kind of separation, of course, called Purva Raga. Purva Raga is expectation for the first meeting, like that. So we can experience that I want one day to serve Krishna personally. That is good. That's good feeling. Right? So Krishna may reveal to us gradually everything. First, Brahman realization means we understand I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. That's That's Brahman realization, self-realization. Brahma Bhutta Prasannatma na sochati na kanchati sama sarveshu bhateshu mad bhaktim labate param. Somebody who's really self-realized, not the body, the soul is prasannatma, is joyful because it's free from sochati kanchati. Lamentation for material fasting or in the hankering for things, material. That's symptom for material life. Everybody lamenting and hankering. But don't lament, I wasted my life. I did not serve Radha Krishna. I was drinking poison in the form of material enjoyment. That's a song by Narottam Das Thakur. Hari Hari Vi Fale Janama Gonai. Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Namajiya. Janiya Chuniya Vishakai. I was drinking poison willingly by not worshipping Radha Krishna. I wasted my life. That's a good lamentation. It's not material, it's a spiritual. So there is material lamentation, there is spiritual lamentation. So, I mean, somebody very self-realized will not lament for material fasting. Oh, I have money, somebody stole. I have a beautiful girlfriend, somebody took away. Like that. This is kind of lamentation, material lamentation. Or hungering. Oh, my neighbor have better car. I want to have a better car, better job, like that. So these things, it comes and goes. We should not be affected by them. We should try to always have the goal always in front of our eyes. Always be aware of the miseries of this world. Jamma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha nudarshanam. Don't lose sight of these four miseries, so you will not become illusioned again by material illusion of trying to be enjoyer in a place which is temporary. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Temporary full of misery. You do your duty, everybody has duties to society, to job, to family, everything, to school, study, you do it. But don't become too attached to it. Try to develop attachment more to Krishna. Then life becomes easier to carry on. So this is what happened to Bharat Maharaj. Did I read the report? No, let me read the report. From this,
yeah, you read the book.
Did that? No. From this, we can understand how we have to be very cautious in executing our spiritual duties by observing the rules and regulation and regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we neglect doing this, we'll eventually fall down. We must rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangalarti, worship the deities, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, study the Vedic literature, and follow all the rules prescribed by the acharyas and the spiritual master. If we deviate from this process, we may fall down, even though we may be very highly advanced. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18:5, Yagyadana tapa karma natyajam karyam evatat Yagyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Act of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great soul. Even if one is in the renounced order, he should never give up the relative principles. He should worship the deity and give his time and life to the service of Krishna. He should also continue following the rules and regulations of austerity and penance. This thing cannot be given up. One should not think oneself very advanced simply because one accepted the sannyas order. The activities of Bharat Maharaj should be carefully studied for one's spiritual advancement. You may say Bharat Maharaj was in the renounced order. He gave up everything. He took sannyas formally, no need for, but he gave up all attachment. And even then, he had some difficulty. So that means one has to be careful, not to disregard. Prabhupada gave orders of importance of doing our activities, daily activities. The first thing take care of health. You have no good health, you can't even do bhajan, Bhakti yoga. Second, chant your japa. That's most important. Third, you do your prescribed duties. Either you have to work or study, whatever, do it. Service, any service you have to do it. And fourth, read the books. It's the last but not the least. Prabhupada said, if devotees don't read my books, they can fall down. So it is important to read the books. Because you have to keep the mind and feeding the mind with spiritual knowledge, spiritual devotion. By reading the book, we get this nourishment, and then we can maintain our spiritual life. So it's important. Chanting and reading, two things are very important. Grihastha, of course, they should have also worship the Lord at home, like that, regulative principles, especially if they are initiated. They should do some puja during the day, offer the food to the Lord. That's a regulative principle to be followed. So, if you have any comment or question, please do.
So Maharaj, in case of Bharat, Maharaj Bharat, so what should have he done? Because showing compassion was the right thing. Then what should have he neglected earlier? Or?
What he should have done? That's a good question. I mean, he did the right thing from the material point of view, but he did not do the right thing from the spiritual point of view. Because if he actually surrendered to Krishna, Krishna will take care of everything else. You don't have to worry about this man dying or this man living. Like, for example, Jesus Christ, one of his followers said, "Oh, allow me to go my town to bury my dead friend." He said, "Let the dead bury the dead." They're dead, spiritually dead. So let them bury the dead. You come with me and have a spiritual life. So there's higher principles in life and lower principles. Higher principles dictate, leave everything in Krishna's hand. Don't worry about so many things, Do you know the story of Kailash? A very instructive story. I've said many times. I'll say one more. Once Narad Muni went to see Krishna, and in the spiritual world, and Krishna was waiting for his friend to play with them. And Narad Muni said, "My dear Lord, if you want, I can bring right now 100 souls from the material world to play with you." Krishna said, "That's a very nice idea. But please bring one soul first. His name is Kailash. He is a materialistic man, but he's devotee. And he's very old. And he, at certain point of his life, he thought, oh, I must surrender to Krishna. I must, go back to Krishna. So he had some desire to be with me. So I'm gonna make exception with him, although he's not fully ready. I'm making one exception. Tell him, this is a Kripa Siddhi. You can come immediately with me. Give up your body and come up immediately with me. Then you can bring me the other 99. First, bring this one. So Narad Muni went to the house of Kailash. Kailash, oh, great sage Narada, my obeisance, Dandavat. Oh, I have very great, wonderful news for you. I just came from seeing Lord Krishna. And he says, gonna give you an exceptional mercy. Give up your body right now. Let's go with Krishna right away to play with him. You can play with Krishna. Oh, such a wonderful news. Thank you. Yes, I want to go with Krishna. But Narada, before I leave, I want to fulfill one desire I have. What is that desire? Well, I have a son and daughter. I want to see them married before I leave. I want to fulfill my material duty also before I go from this world. let the family take care of those things. You know, Krishna is giving you exceptional opportunity. Take advantage of it. Yes, you're right, but I want to do it myself. I have this desire. Please allow me to do this, my duty, then I go with it. Okay. It's voluntary. You know. Okay, how much time? Give me at least a year, to find a suitable. They like also. I can't force them. You have to like the person, like that. All right. Okay. You can't arrange marriage. And sometimes they work, most cases they work, they do the astrological chart and see compatibility and all these things have to be taken into account, and that they like each other also, all these things, So anyway, after a year, Narad Muni came back, daughter, son married. Very nice. Okay, Kailash, you fulfilled your desire. Of course, for Krishna, 1 year is 1 second in the spiritual world, nothing. So anyway, Kailash, you fulfilled your desire, let's go with Krishna right away. Krishna still wants to give you the mercy, exceptional mercy. Yes, I want to go immediately right now. But Narad, be comprehensive with me. Before I go, I would like to see my granddaughter, grandson. I can't go just like that. I mean, I got my son, daughter married. How can I go without seeing the grandchildren? At least one, But Kailash, don't be so materially attached. This opportunity doesn't happen every day. Krishna is giving a special exception. Yes, I know. Only that. I promise. No more desire, but only that. Okay, I can't force you. You're making a mistake, but what can I do? How much time you need? Takes time to make children. Give it at least couple of years. 1.5 at least. All right, okay. So next time Narad Muni came, and Kailash having granddaughter in one knee, there's a grandson on the knee, they're playing, laughing, And when Kailash saw Narad Muni's smile freeze. What they call it, those who spoiled the party. There's a name for it. Somebody who spoiled the party.
Spoiled sport?
I can't remember now.
But that's the other word is not good. So
Spoiler.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. Somebody who spoiled the party. So, yeah, maybe. Anyway, so the Kailash became nervous. So now when he came to remind you, okay, you fulfilled all your desire. Now is the time to go to Krishna. Krishna is still giving you the mercy. Don't spoil it, Take advantage of it. Yes, of course. I have no material desires. I want to go with Krishna. But not me. Please be comprehensive. I have one problem at home. I can't go without solving this problem. No desire is a problem. What is that? Well, my wife, I was fight with my daughter-in-law. Sometimes they pull their hair each other. And sometimes they take a knife, So I have to come separate them, The big problem is a big problem. So I want to make a house next to, I have a property, land. I will make a house for my son to live separately. So there will no more fighting, Very dangerous. They kill each other one day. So I'd say, Kailash, don't be so fool, Let the family take care of these things. You give all the property to your son, and they will take care of that. You don't have to worry about it. No, I have to do it myself. It's my duty to my son. I have to do this to my wife. Well, what can I do? I can't force you, but you're making a big mistake, because if you die and you're not Krishna conscious, you don't know what may happen to you. There is a special concession if you willingly come with me. Otherwise, who knows what is going to happen? Oh, no, it's going to take much time. In 6 months, I will finish the house. Come back, please. In 6 months, I will do it. Okay. Then, destiny, is very strong. Kailash was supervising the construction of the house. Almost finished. He had the dog. The dog came to play. He brought a stick in his teeth, wanted to play. So Kailash took the stick, throw it away. The dog would bring it back like that. And suddenly Kailash has a heart attack. He was old man. And he was lying there in a heart attack. And the dog came with the stick and was looking at Kailash. He was looking at the dog. And he died thinking of the dog. And what happened when Narad Muni came back, he saw two dogs, one big dog, one small. So Narad Muni spoke to Kailash, see what happened to you for not listening to me. You became a dog. Kailash said, wow. Okay, Kailash, I'm going to give you last chance. Last chance. Give up this miserable dog body. Let's go with Krishna right now. I'm doing the exception for you. Because I see you have some sincerity in your heart. And Kailash said, yes, I want to go with you immediately. But see, Narad Muni, my family went on vacation. They left the window of the house open. Thief may come and steal everything. I can't go. Let me watch the house for the weekend, then I go with you. Kailash, don't be so foolish. Even a dog body, you want to continue with your rebellious. You don't want to surrender to Krishna. That's why you're giving so many excuses. And Kailash became angry at Narad. With so many souls around, you've only come after me. Leave me alone. Just see the rebellious mentality of the soul. I always try to avoid surrender to Krishna. But the story doesn't end there. In the Purana, there are more details of the story. That because he was envious of Vaishnava, he wanted to actually bite Narad. So next time he became a snake, big snake. So Narad didn't give up on him. He would go and preach to him even in the body of a snake. And gradually became surrender to Narad Muni. Yes, my Guru, please forgive me for all my offenses. I will try to follow your instructions. So after some time, he came to visit him again to preach to him. He saw he was wounded all over his body. So he asked him, why? Who did this to you? Well, since I became devotee, I don't want to harm anyone. So children take advantage of that, and they beat me up with stick, throw stones at me. And I practice humility, so I don't bite anyone. I don't want to harm anyone. Oh, that's very good, Kailash, but you should not be fooled. If they come to harm you, you hiss at them, show your fangs and your tongue, but don't bite, just frighten them so they will leave you alone. It's a good instruction. Be humble, but not be fooled. Anyway, and after that life, he was liberated. But just see how much time to Srila Bhakti Sundar Saraswati Thakur used to say, it takes gallons of blood to make somebody devotee. It's not an easy thing. Yes.
So Maharaj, that's one aspect where you should give up your rather material attachment to get focus on Krishna. But because as sadhakas, we might give that reason that we are focusing on Krishna and neglect. How do we understand that we are neglecting our duties or something like that, or on the name of just validating ourselves?
We have to know how to do things in such a way we don't neglect either one or the other. Srila Bhakti Thakur, he was a householder. He worked as a judge. He was he had to earn money to maintain his family. He had 11 children. So he was doing his duty. He didn't neglect his duty to chant only. The Hasta devotee must earn money. It's their duty to their family, to society, to the service of the Lord, also to the service of Vaishnava. They have to earn money. It's their duty. So for that, they have to do something practical. But they should always remember, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, personal example. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prayed to Krishna. Manasa Deo Geo Yoki Chumor Arpilum Tua Padinan Nakishon, my dear Lord, I offer you my body, my mind, Manasa Deo, Geo my home. I'm only your eternal servant. So that's the mentality. Even in married life, earning money, you still can be Krishna conscious, you know, following the footsteps of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not thinking yourself the owner of your family or your money or whatever. You should know everything is borrowed. Krishna is the only proprietor, the only enjoyer. We are only his servants. So even in Grihastha life, one keep that mentality. He's safe. He's safe. Fulfill your material duties, be kind to everyone. Don't speak to spiritual life or to those who are not interested. Don't force it on them. If somebody show interest, you can, of course, but otherwise, don't. You know, they make more efforts if you try to force it on them. So you have to be careful. You know. So there's a written statement by Bhaktivinoda Thakur about Vaishnava and society, how to behave in society, in material society. Giving bad association doesn't mean you don't talk to anyone or share anything with anyone. Doesn't mean that. He said you have to do it, you do it, but don't become too attached to it. Like that. Don't agree with their ideas or their bad habits. Don't participate in that. Just respect them, treat them nicely, do your duties, and be detached, you know. Be a normal person. But not that kind of normal that pat you on the back. Let's have some beer. Yes, yes. Not that kind of normal humility, no. That is not appreciable. What you have to learn to say no to certain things. You can't say yes to everything. So anyway, that's the advice. Yes.
Maharaj, I read in one of the reports that the fact that Maharaj fell down from such a exalted state must have been due to something he did in the past life. But I could not find it anywhere what that was. Do you know? Is there something about his past life?
No. I maybe there, but I never heard it or read it or found it anywhere. Yeah, it could be. I mean, but after all, there is free will. I mean, the karma from your past doesn't dictate how you act now. Suppose from your bad karma past life, you have to suffer poverty or something. It is your free will to become a thief or try to do your best and depend on Krishna, go to the temple, pray to the Lord, whatever, or become a thief. The karma doesn't dictate what you're gonna do with how you react to your bad karma. It's not that because of bad karma I have to do the bad thing, but it depends how you react to it. Somebody is in pain because he has some family problem. He may go to the bar and pray, or may go to the temple or church and pray to God for him. That's your decision. It's not depend on what karma, good or bad, you have. It's your decision. Okay. Bad karma, good karma actually are the same in one sense. Once a devotee was leading the other devotees in parikrama in Vrindavan, and the part of parikrama they taking bath in the Yamuna. And the devotee asked them, they are inside the Yamuna taking bath. He asked them, do you know the difference between taking bath in the Ganga and taking bath in Yamuna? Yes, Ganga is purified, but Yamuna is 100 times more purified. That's correct, he said. But there is one more thing. When you take bath in the Ganga, you get free from the bad karma. But when you take bath in the Yamuna, you get free from the bad karma and the good karma also. So some devotees start to get out of it. We want the good karma, we want the good karma, not the bad. But good and bad in this world is a relative term. Relative term. Like, in India they do, when they do this cow dung cake, they dry it on the sun, they use it for cooking or whatever purpose. So the wet cow dung telling the dry cow dung, oh, you're gonna get burned, you're gonna get burned. And who's the next? It's a question of time. So good or bad is relative in this world. We should go for the ultimate, Param Satyam, the highest truth, which is loving surrender to Krishna, loving service. That's the highest truth. Very good. Thank you, everyone, for coming, joining us. I guess we have another program this evening.
Yes.
So we will continue the same topic. We'll finish it this
We'll
evening.
go to Jarman.
Yeah. Next, after that, is Born and Deer. We discussed that, and then Janabar. So we have a lot to speak about this last time. Bharat Maharaj. I mean, he was such a great devotee, great king, that received the planet Bharat Barsh.
Yes.
Bharat Barsh.
Yeah,
Even up to date, Bharat Barsh. Some devotees don't want to call it India, they call it Bharat.
yes.
Is that right? Is okay. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Premanandi.
His Holiness Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
I'd like to thank today's hosts, Nandan Prabhu and Anandila Mataji and family. So thank you so much for hosting today's program. Really appreciate it. I know that this week there's some roadworks as well, right? So it's really difficult to get here today. So, but thank you all for making it, and we'll see you all this evening at Umesh Prabhu and Second Mataji's home. So thank you once again, and I think we're going to offer lamps now, and then we'll be honoring Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. So much for Krishna.
Yes. If you want to say something, or do you want to add something?